Hello everyone and good evening. This is New Frank, and today we're going to talk about the Shroud of Turin. You can also call me the artist of revelation if you like. So this broadcast goes out to my students and it goes out to everyone listening around the world. I think today we have a great discovery of 12 images hidden inside the Shroud of Turin. So let me give you a little bit about it if you haven't ever heard of it. All right, so the Shroud of Turin is first came out in 1354. Now it was found by a French knight named Geoffroy de Charnay. Now this is the same knight that wrote the book on when they say is dead, chivalry is dead. That's the same knight that wrote a book on that, which is kind of cool. Now he held on to it and he was able to present that, and now the Shroud is at the Vatican. But I have been working on this for about 8 months, and just the face part, and through I call it divine intervention, I've been shown these images that I want to show to you. And when you look at these images, I just want you to kind of make up your own mind. But I am a teacher, so this will be something like a class. So when we look at these images, we must go by something called intent intelligence. So intent intelligence means that when we look at something, it must have intent and it must have intelligence. So when we look at humans, we know that humans have two eyes, a nose, a mouth, and the eyes from the nose have a certain proportionate distance. The eye is not in the back. So we know who created the humans did it with intent, did it with intelligence, right? The same way if you look at an animal, all animals, most of them has 4 legs. You look at insects, they got between 6 and 8 legs, right? So what we're trying to see today is when we see an image, and I point these images out to you, they have to have a form of intent, intelligence, not just shadows to where we feel like we have to wing it or try to make it into something it's not. It has to have an eye, nose, arms, legs, and it has to be in a certain proportion to show the intelligence of the person that created it, right? So one of the things that we are debating is this right here. The person that was wrapped up in the shroud, if it was Jesus Christ, they're saying that these images happen on the 3rd day when he was resurrected, or it happened before, right? And they're saying that if it was a resurrection, then the light from the resurrection was so bright that it left these images in there. Now some people say that it's just a forgery, it's just a man, right? It is a big puzzle in the scientific community about what this really is. So we're going to jump right in today. If you can see my mouse, and we're going to start with the first one. Let me introduce my screen to you. Over here, you're probably looking at all these buttons. These are the images right here, and then the white dots over here, these are like the eyes. Alright, so when I click on there, you'll see the eyes of the image, and this right here is something like a thermal. It'll help you see the image. Alright, and we're going to start with number 1. We're just going to jump right into it. Alright, so number 1, we're going to start here. Alright, so as we look, we can look at what we call the Jesus cross. I had to give it a name because things need a name, so I'm giving it a name, the Jesus cross. You can call it what you want. So first we're going to look for intent intelligence. So I'm going to make it big, So you can see, first thing we're going to look at is the eyes right here and right there. Now we're going to see it on the big screen in just a minute, but I'm just pointing it out small, and then we'll look at the original. And I made it brighter so we can see it. If you look here at the nose, right, you can see a nose line. It looks like shoulders there. Look over here, the shoulders. And that looks like a sleeve and a hand and a thumb to me. You tell me what you see. All right, I see a form of intent. I see a form of intelligence right here. All right, I will zoom this in a little bit. I like to give you, the audience, a chance to try to find it yourself on here. So what we're going to do, we will set this clock right here, 2 seconds. See if you can find this image up here. Some of you probably already found it already. All right, so we'll take this away, and we'll do this each time if we have time. All right, so put the eyes on. As you can see, click the white dot, they go away. All right, so first thing we're going to look at is this image right here, but we're going to go thermal and make it big for you, and this will be image number 1 right here. Do you see that? So as you take a look at that, what do you think about? Does that look like a man to you? You see a beard, you see a nose, you see a sleeve, it's a hand right there. Like an arm coming out right there. Now I'll show you without the thermal. We take it off. Here we go. Now what do you see? Look at that hand right there. Look at the face. Look at the eyes. It has the back part of your eyes right there. Look at that nose. Let's make it a little bigger. What do you think? Think that is just random? Okay, all right, so that is image number 1. Now image number 1 on the cross, as you see Jesus on the cross, everybody knows about this, most people, but when you think about it, I like to give little advice for life. You know, one of the things that I went through is understanding what the cross means, is understanding knowledge and wisdom. And once you get older, you'll understand how these two work. So knowledge always comes before wisdom. Let's say that you're a celebrity, or you know celebrities, and they have knowledge. They can sing, they can rap, they can dance, they can do something. The knowledge will get you there. But the mistakes that you make while you're there, wisdom comes later and say, hey, you know what, I don't want to party no more, I don't want to have 3 girlfriends no more. That's wisdom coming. So knowledge will always come first, wisdom will come second. So what that means in real life is the knowledge that you have right now, it will take you far, but the wisdom is something that God gives you that says, hey, you don't need to be doing that, watch out. So remember that when you have knowledge, you need to allow God to give you the wisdom on how to use that knowledge. All right, let's go to image number 2. So image number 2, all right, we go over here to what I call is Adam. Now this particular image, let's go over it. It looks like, to me, a man grabbing fruit, like in the Garden of Eden. So let's look at this first. Let's show intelligent intent. Let's look at the eyes. All right, nose, we're looking for a mouth, a head right there. We're looking for an arm, shoulders, and we see a back part. Let's make it a little bigger. Look at that up close. All right, we see the eye, the nose, the mouth right there. By the way, the white dots is I put that there. That's not part of the shroud. That's just something to enhance to show you a point of origin. All right, so right there, look at the arm. Looks like he's reaching for fruit. He's hanging on with this arm, and you look at the back, and you can see the head to me. All right, what do you think about that image? Now, I'll set the timer over here. See if you can find this image on the face of the shroud. So take a look. Got 2 seconds. I was going to set it to 3, but I thought it'd take too long. So we got 12 to get through. All right, time up. Did you find this image on here somewhere? All right, let's take Adam away and let's turn on his eyes. You see it? On, off. It's right here. If you was able to see it, congratulations. All right, first let's go thermal. Right here. Let's go thermal. Right here, so you can see it. And let's make it big. All right, so as you can see, we see the arm. Right, you have the face and the body. Let's make it a little bigger. So this thermal helps you, I created, helps you to focus more on it. Get that focus just right. All right, we're gonna do it without the thermal. All right, let's take that off. And here we go. Look at that right there. What do you think about that right there? All right, so look at the arm. You got the back, the face, the arm right there. Does that look like a man to you? What does that look like? All right, leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. Look at that. So the reason that I call this one particular Adam, as you can see, I have this separated. I have this separated in the Old Testament and New Testament. So I have the Old Testament over here, and I have the New Testament over here, as you can see. All right, so one of the things about Adam in the Garden of Eden is that they was put in the Garden of Eden, and they was together as a mate, Adam and Eve, and they was supposed to not eat from this certain tree, but they did anyway. Eve ate first, and then she gave it to her husband, and then he ate, and that went against God's law. One of the things I want to explain to you is that sometimes in life we have something called the mirror effect. When you look in the mirror at yourself, the mirror will only show you what's wrong with you. It won't help you fix your mistakes. And sometimes when you're looking in the mirror, you're looking into the past. And anybody can be a mirror in your life to remind you of what you cannot do. And going into this new year, I do not want you to carry those mirrors around. It's time to break the mirror. Don't have people to tell you what you can and cannot do. Because remember, the mirror will only show you what's wrong with you. The mirror will never help you to fix it, because it's in the past. It happened already. So when Adam did what he did, he couldn't go back and fix it. He had to deal with it, unless he looks in the mirror and he live a life of regret. But at some point in your life, you have to move on. This one is called the mirror effect. All right, moving on to image number 3. All right, so we're going to move on to image number 3, and this is called the decision, and you can also call him the deceiver. Now this little thing here, as we look at it, I will use intent intelligence. We can see that it is not human form. We see the 2 eyes, and we see something like 2 ears here. You make it bigger. It has 2 ears here, right, and a body. It has 2 legs, right? And like it has a hand over here. Now I believe that this is the entity that deceived Eve. Something that looked innocent, like a puppy. Something that you would trust. Nothing grotesque at first. Not at first, not now. right? This is when the enemy still had a body, right? So I want you to look around to see if you see it on here. We'll set the timer for 2 seconds. Take a look, see if you see it. I give you a hint, it's close to Adam. Do you see it? All right, so time's up. I will show you. First, we turn on the eyes. 1, 2, you see the blinking. All right, and do thermal. Just bring it up close. All right, so as you look at this, you can see that it's right under Adam. Now, I believe that this was the exact moment, if you was taking a picture of Adam going for that fruit, if you could go back in history and take a photo of it with your iPhone, I believe this is what this image represents. Let's take a closer look. Right here, you see Adam here climbing, and you see this entity here, right under here. Now, it doesn't look as frightening as first. You know, some things are beautiful and they are dangerous at the same time. You know, you look at something and you say, wow, that's beautiful, but it can also be very deadly. So this is probably something that they trusted, and it doesn't look like it can harm you, but it, as you know through the Bible story, it caused many problems, right? They got kicked out of the garden because they disobeyed. All right, so take a look at that. So as you look at that, this brings me to my next advice that I want to share with you. When you meet someone and you see this thing up here, 3 things are going to happen when you meet someone. Number 1, they are strong enough to lead you. Number 2, you are strong enough to lead them. Or number 3, you are equally strong and you both go your separate ways. Now, in the story of Adam and Eve, when they met this right here, this entity here, this deceiver, Eve was not strong enough to go her own way. She followed this entity, this thing's way, right? And so when you meet people in life, you must know who you are. If they're stronger than you, they will lead you. If you're stronger than them, you will lead them. But if you're both equally strong, you can go your separate ways. So you make sure you know who you're following, because hey, you can get kicked out of your Garden of Eden. All right, and that would bring us to image number 3. Image number 4. This one would be the cross angel. So the cross angel is, sorry about that. So the cross angel, I'm just going to put his eyes on. It's right here. What we call the cross angel. And I believe that, I know that it doesn't, as we take a look at it close up, that it doesn't fit the description of a human, and that's okay, because we're talking about something different, something spiritual here. But what I'm focusing on here is that how the cross angel is holding on to the arm of Jesus. It's like when he's on the cross, he's not alone. It's like somebody is there, and it seems like his arm is stretched out and he's holding on there. Now, you have to use your imagination a little bit. I'll give in on this one a little bit, but I would like to believe that this is part of this story. So as you can see, this whole Shroud of Turin that we're looking at is a story. It's like a storybook coming to life, and I'm showing you the characters that's in the story, and we'll get into some more. But take a look at that, and it's like saying to you, someone is always there for you. If you ever had someone that's always there for you, this is what it was like. All right, so that would bring us, take a look at that. Let's see, 1, 2, image 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that brings us to image number 5. All right, let me know what you think. This one, we're going to go to the tree of good and evil. Now let's take a look up close. Now, this is a funny looking tree. I know what you're thinking, but here's my thought on it. I believe that when God created this tree, good and evil, and this tree was created to give them a choice. Now remember, God has to give you free will, or if not, you just be like a robot. But this tree had a certain look. It didn't look like the other trees in the garden. It was designed in a way to where if you took fruit from it, you would know that this tree is grotesque. Now look at the bottom part right here. You can see that it looks like a goat hoof, right? And we recognize the enemy as the goat. Horns of a goat, right? Split hooves right there. And I'll show you the tree. And I believe that this particular tree, you have to climb all the way up to get the fruit, which means you have time to think about what you're doing. The fruit is not right in front of your face, right? You have to climb up to it. So most of the time when we want to do something wrong, we have to go out of our way to do it, right? So if you're going to steal something, you have to plan, put on a mask, you have to get a bag, to put your stuff in. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that you have to go out of your way. And while you're doing that, you have time to think that, hey, why am I putting on a mask and getting a bag? I need gloves so I don't leave fingerprints. So that's giving you time. So Adam had time when he's climbing this tree to think about what he's doing. It's all the way up there. So just take a quick look. Now, these are not eyes, these white dots. I put them here just so it'll help us to identify what we're looking at. All right. So see, there's 2 seconds on the clock. See if you can find this tree. I think you can. All right, so just scan for yourself. See if you can match that up. If you see it. All right, time is up. All right, so this is the tree of good and evil. Let me show you where it is on here. There it is right here. So let's do a close-up. It's under thermal and see. So you can see here, you see the hoof, see how weird it is, and you can see all the way up that Adam is climbing up this tree to get the fruit, but he has to start all the way here. And this is something that, where you will not be tricked. God ain't trying to trick you. You know that's wrong, right? Because you can see it, right? So it's a difference. All right, let's do it without thermal. Let's take that away. All right, so let's take a closer look. Look at that. And that's the bottom of the tree. And we go up, up, up. Here, once again, you see the face. See the arm reaching for the fruit. This one is hanging on. We see the entity that deceived Adam right here at first. This kind of looked like a little horse face or something to me, and maybe a goat or something. But right here we see that symbol, and we see that a lot in Satanism and other occults, like this whole thing right here. So you can kind of see that this is the tree of good and evil. So that puts us at image number 1, see number 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go to image number 6. All right, in image number 6, this is the cherub. If you ever seen a cherub before, I haven't, but take a look at this right here. This is not human. I call this a cherub angel. This, I believe, is the one that was blocking Adam and Eve from getting to the tree of life, was blocking them with the sword, I believe. If you look at intent intelligence, you see the eye, you see that the neck and the hair here, see that there's an arm here. Let's make it bigger. You see that there's an arm here, chest, and it's standing at attention with strength, but it doesn't frighten me. You see ears or something, but it doesn't give the classification of a human to me. It's something else, alien-like. But here, I don't know if it's on his knees praying or standing right there. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. But you can see from the face over here that it is in real image. You see the arms, how strong. Now imagine if you had to fight something like that. This is something like, I don't know, Iron Man would have to fight. I mean, Superman. This looks super strong. I would not want to go up against this at all. All right, so this same image is on here. I'll set the timer for 2 seconds. Take a look and see if you can find it. All right. Okay, time's up. Did you find this image on here? All right, let me take this away and show you the eyes. You see it on and off. And let's go thermal. And let's take a look. There it is right here. This is the image. We can see the eye, the face, the hair, the arms. Look at those arms, the chest. It looks like it's wearing some type of uniform or something, but I don't know if it's standing or praying or giving at attention, but you can see that it's at attention, like it's waiting for orders or something. Let's take the thermal off and closer look again. Look at that. Let's get a real good look at that. You can really see it now. Look how detailed and cut it is. Right? If you was to draw this, it looked like someone just went in and they were drawing this. You know, that's what it looks like to me. You know. But let's go back. Take a look at that, how that fits in there. Wow, that is something. How did that get in there? I didn't draw it. You didn't draw it. This is what we're trying to figure out. How did these images get in here? You know, but the cherub is a protector, strong. And when you around people, you have to ask yourself the question. Either you're there in your life, and we'll split this in two, to solve a problem, or you're there to create a problem. Now, if you're there to solve a problem, you're there to help, lend your assistance, give your ideas, if that's you. Or you are there to create a problem. That means like you are not agreeable. Everywhere you go, there's a problem. The food is never right. This is you. So when you think about this, which side do you fall on? Are you a person that solves a problem when you go out? Or are you a person that creates a problem all the time? I mean, causes a problem all the time, right? That was image number 6. Let's go back. So we have the Jesus cross. This is what we call the cross angel. We have number 3, Adam and the forbidden fruit. We have the deceiver over here, which is number 4. We have the tree of good and evil, number 5, and we have the cherub angel, puts us at number 6. All right, moving on to number 7. All right, so number 7, we're gonna go here. All right, Jesus speaks, looking at the mouth. All right, so this particular one is, I'm not going to do a timer on this because everybody knows where the mouth is. So we're just going to go right to it. Now, this particular one is special because I believe that when you look from the side at this painting here later, you will see his mouth open. I've done it with a few friends, and it will really freak you out. So if you're looking at this on the laptop, I want you to just look at the whole painting and then turn to the side, like hold the laptop to your side like you're looking from the side at it. and you'll see, just wait a minute, and it's like an optical illusion or something, but his mouth would be open. Once you see it, hit me back with the comments. It will really be mind-blowing. Underneath this, and that's fascinating in itself. I mean, you have to, if you put this painting on the wall, and you stand to the side and look at it, you would see like his mouth would be open. I've done it several times, and my father did it, and some friends did it. It's weird. I can't explain it. You just have to see it for yourself. Under here, under the chin part, I was looking at, and I'm not going to count these images as intent intelligence. This was just something I wanted to point out. It just looks like there was hands here. It looks like somebody lifting up something here and here. I just wanted to point that out. But I'm counting the whole mouth as image number 7 right here. So take a good look at that. Okay, and we'll take that off, and we'll take a closer look, and you can see right in here what I'm talking about, and you don't have to worry about that. All right, let's put the eyes in there. That's what I was talking about here. So like you can see a body like, and over here, and then here, and here. Let's see, I'll make it closer for you. So there, and there, and there. But the main thing I wanted you to see, I think that's fascinating, is to stand to the side, and you will see this part open. All right? You have to try it. I know you're saying to yourself, no way. I kid you not. Stand to the side and look. You see it. All right. The next one that puts us at number 7, where we did the Jesus cross, the cross angels, Adam, the deceiver, the tree of good and evil, the cherub angel, and Jesus speaks. All right. So the next one we're going to do is what we call the Book of Life. Now, I call this the Book of Life because I think you can see it right here. You probably see it right underneath here. Now, I call this the Book of Life because, let me just take this off, because he looks like he's looking down here. Let me turn on the lights. See, 1, 2, 3. He looks like he's looking down at the book of life. And because he's looking down at the Book of Life, it brings me to the concept of, first I was going to say that it could be like a dove, because I was thinking like this is the dove's face and this could be wings, but it looks like he's reading it. So I'm going to go with the Book of Life. You can call it something different. So with the Book of Life, what that is that it's designed in a way that when you go to heaven, that it says in the Bible that God will look at the Book of Life, or the Lamb's Book of Life, Jesus being the Lamb, and see if your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. And if your name is not written in the Lamb's Book of Life, then you cannot enter into heaven. Okay? So what that means is that there's a 2-step process. This is the second step, actually, the Lamb's Book of Life. The first step to get into the Lamb's Book of Life is the plan of salvation. Now, if you don't know what that is that a person, just like yourself, has to say words, right? Words are one of the most powerful things, but you have to say certain words in a certain way to get your name in the Lamb's Book of Life, right? That's the first step, but there's other things. So one of the things that you say is that you ask Jesus to come into your heart, right? And that you believe that he died on the cross for your sin, and that you believe that he rose on the 3rd day. That's one way. The other way, if you are new and you may not understand what I just said, you just say, Jesus, come into my heart. That's it. Forgive me for my sins. I want to change. I want to know you. You don't have to be all fancy or anything like that. And from that moment, Jesus will lead you to people in your area that will have the word and show you how to study, how to go to church, things like that. This is speaking in this context so you can understand that. All right, so if that's you, you can go ahead and say that prayer right now, and then that way you can go to church, you can get baptized. There's other little procedures that you can learn about that, but you can study up on that. But we're here to talk about the images. So this one right here, the Book of Life, image number 8, I was looking down at that, and that goes with the plan of salvation when he's doing that. All right. Now, image number 9 is
the Antichrist.
Is very debatable. So we're going to move on to what I call the Antichrist and the serpent in this image. Do you think you see it already? All right, I'll show you a picture. And first we start here. It's Antichrist and the serpent. This is what I call it. Let's take a look at this. Now, for many years, it's been a debate about who is the Antichrist, what it's going to look like, when is it going to come. For those out there that don't understand or maybe don't know about this, the Antichrist is an entity. Some people say it's a man that one day will be possessed by the spirit of Satan, Satan's son. Some say that it would be a robot or other thing. But according to what some people believe, this right here is Antichrist. This right here is the serpent next to it. Now, I'm basing this on evidence I haven't shown you yet, but I'm going to show it to you and it'll make sense in a minute. Just go with me. All right, so you see the snake here and this ghostly looking, this thing, it creeps me out right here. So I put the two eyes here on the snake. That's the tail right next to it, coming out of the shadows. For some reason, God doesn't want us to actually know the identity yet, right? Some people know it's just 666, and that this particular man or woman entity will come, and for 7 years and for 3.5 years, it's going to come here, and people are going to love it. It'll deceive many. And for the other 3.5 years, a lot of people are going to have a hard time, and it's going to show its true colors, and it's trying to get you to sell your soul so it can take you to hell. But when you look at this Antichrist and the serpent, I want you to try to go here with me. Let me make it a little bigger. So it is long face. Oh, you got hair a little bit. It's just sticking out of the shadows, and you can see the snake right there together. Right. And this is gonna make more sense in just a minute to you. I don't want to give it away just yet, but so let me set the timer. And over here, 2-1. Do you see it on this picture? Do you see it? Now, if you haven't noticed, this is the Old Testament. We're moving over to the New Testament. Do you see it? All right, let me take that away here and put the eyes right there. See the eyes here and the eyes there. All right, so we will go thermal, both of them, so you can get a good glimpse. As you can see right there, you see the eyes and the tail right there, all the way up. All right, let me take it off. I think we can see it better without the thermal. All right, so take a look at this. All right, so we see this right here, and this is Antichrist right there, hiding back there. And let me show you why this makes sense in a minute. Now, there's another part that goes with the Antichrist, and there is a system, the 666 system. that goes with it. This is what we call the beast, the mark of the beast. And this particular entity, that some people call it a system, that if you get this mark, you cannot get into heaven. If you get this mark on your hand or forehead, that's something you don't want to get. Right? And if you do get the mark, you can buy and sell. You can get things. And it seems like at this time, this particular mark will come out when there is a one world order. There will be like all of these countries will come together as one and become this one world order. So let me show you this beast. Look at this up close. It looks like a dog, right? And we see the eye. We know it's not human, right? It's sitting like a dog. We see the back. Maybe there's ears. We see a mouth right there, a nose. Now, I took a picture of this picture and put it in Google Images to see what the computer brings back. And that it came back as fire, demons. It showed all kind of strange images. I took the same image, you can try it yourself, with the Antichrist and that serpent, and it came back very weird. Fire, brimstones, very strange. Then I took a picture of Christ and put that in Google, and it came back like angels, God, cross, came back all kind of stuff like that. And that's Google. That's just seeing what the computer sees. But anyway, if you look close at this and make it closer, you can really see it now. That is done to me with intent. Look how cut that is. It even has a mouth, a nose. It's standing at attention, hidden in plain sight, right? It's a tail. Looks like it's sitting up. Now, I don't know how this symbol would be used in the future or something like that, but let me set the timer. See if you can find this image within the time before it goes off. It's 1 second. Tell me if you can find it with your eyes. All right, time's up. All right, let me show you where it is. Let me take this away and put the eyes on. You see right there. All right, first let's go thermal right there. That's where it is. And I don't think that helps. I think it's too dark. Let's take that off. That's better. All right, so here's what I've been trying to show you before time. The serpent, Antichrist, and the beast all together. But there's another part to this that I'm going to show you in just a second. And it's going to really blow your mind like it did mine. Look at the serpent, Antichrist and the beast straight together, right? Yes. And I was just speechless for words when I found it. So somehow, somewhere in our future, this particular image will come up again. I'm betting. In some way it'll be used, I guess. But it seems like it's here as a warning or something like this. This is something to look out for in the future. You know, we don't know how these images got into this shroud. Man didn't draw them. I didn't draw them. This is divine intervention. God put them there. Your guess is as good as mine. I believe he did. But it's just, we have to take all this in. But if we look at 1, 2, and 3, let me go back to this to see. So if you look over here, you see the Old Testament. Now this is what Lucifer would look like in the Garden of Eden, something furry, nice, unthreatening. If he could choose his own shape, I don't know if he had control over what he wanted to look like, or was he a shapeshifter. But this doesn't look as harmless, right? But if you look over here, after the fall of man, he lost his shape, right? And then God said you would eat the dust, you would crawl on your belly. And so after that, we look over here in the New Testament. Let's go over here to the New Testament, right? And over here in the New Testament, we see that now he's a serpent. Over here, he's not. And if you look, I drew a line. It's straight across from here to here, right? And we can see all three together: the serpent, the Antichrist, and the beast, the mark of the beast. Now, I don't know how this plays into the 666, but if I were you, I would definitely keep an eye out and look for this symbol in the future. Whenever things go down, I will look. Maybe for all three, especially for this dog, wolf looking symbol thing over here. Now, that puts us on number 10. I think that was number 10. And so we did the Jesus cross is number 1, the cross angel is number 2, Adam is number 3, the deceiver is number 4, the tree of good and life, the tree of good and evil is number 5, cherub is number 6, Jesus speaks, his mouth is number 7, the book of life is number 8, the serpent sorry about trying to say serpent. The serpent is number 9, right? Both of these images together, number 9. And we look over here at the beast, that puts us at number 10. The Antichrist and the serpent, I'm counting this as one image because they're so close together. It's number 9, and then the beast is number 10. Okay, so let's take a look at this image to see what we got. Now, we know that it looks like a dog. So everything that I think is put in front of us is for a reason, and we have to look deep into this and use our imagination a little bit. All right, so we know it's a dog. So based on that, what does that tell us? I think the question we should be asking ourselves is, why does this look like a dog, this beast? I believe that it looks like a dog because throughout history, the dog has represented some form of destruction. So let's first look at the hellhound, right? So we know the hellhound, and another name for the hellhound is called the Cerberus. Now, the Cerberus is the one that has the 3 heads and it has sharp teeth. And that's the thing that is a guardian for the underworld. Now, its job, when you die and you damn go to hell, it's said that this particular dog is guarding the exit, so you can remain dead. The damn will stay dead. You cannot get away, escape hell, because of this dog is here, right? So we also got what we call, the second one is another dog. Is what we call a spectral hound, and it's like a black dog. And what it does, when you see the black dog, it gives you like a bad omen. So when you see it, something bad is about to happen to you. Now it appears like in a shadowy figure. Its powers is unclear according to legend, but when you see it, it shows up and something bad happens to you right after that. Let's look at another one. Now, another one is the demonic canine, right? Now, some of you probably heard of this one. It's called a Bargus. Now, a Bargus is a dog to where it's said to have powers of shape-shifting, invisible, that you can hear the dog wailing or making a noise right before somebody dies. But it's also it can foretell death, and it can drive a person insane, because that person that's dying, from what I'm understanding, is the only one that can hear it. Back to the mark of the beast. One thing that we realize is that Satan has always used the symbolism of dog to foretell the ending of time.
Behold,
Guardians
I send you out as
of
sheep amidst the wolves.
the underworld, beings that take our soul to hell. When I see this symbol here, this dog here next to the serpent and the Antichrist, this particular beast, one thing is for sure: this is one dog you don't want to pat. We're gonna go to number 11 now. Now this one, once I show you this one, you will really see the genius of this painting that was done by some person other than man. All right, let's go to number 11 is the what we call the Revelation cross, right there. Let me make that big for you. You see that? All right, so this is 4 points. This is a cross that's in here. You see it from here. If you turn your face to the side, you can really see it, to the left or the right. There, you can really see it. I put 4 dots there to show it to you a little better, right? And you can see it from this position. All right, so that is the Revelation cross right there. All right, so let's set the timer. See if you can find it on here. See what your perception is. Are you getting better at this? See if you can find it. Let me drink a little water. Excuse me. All right. Did you find it? All right. So let's take this away and let's light it up. Here we are, right there. Do you see it now? All right. We'll go thermal and see if that helps. All right. So here, you see it here from the side. You can see the straight line here from the side and down and here and around and back up again, the cross. So let's take a closer look with the thermal, see if that can help out a little bit. Can you see it? All right, let's go back down. Let's take the thermal off, and I think this way you can really see it really good. Do you see it now? That's a real cross. I didn't put it there. Look at that. Look at that. It's a cross right there. Now, let me show you what I've been waiting to show you. That the cross in Revelation shows that, let me make this small, shows that in Revelations, predicting the future of Jesus Christ's triumph over the Satan, the Antichrist, and the beast, or the false prophet. The cross is directly over top of their heads. Look at that. Let me show you up close. Here is the cross right here, and it's on top of them, right on top. Now, if that's an accident, I don't know if you can call it an accident, but that is exactly the way the Bible predicted it would be. The cross. Jesus is not on the cross no more, right? Here he is. But over here, this is the New Testament, right? On this side of his face. So it's showing the triumph of the cross being over the serpent, the Antichrist, and the beast. If that's not a future prophecy, I don't know what is. Look at that cross. That's mind-blowing. How did that get in there? Right? And you have to understand, like, this is one of the 7 wonders of the world. This is the most valuable painting in the world because it wasn't done by man. You know, let that sink in for a minute. You know, Mona Lisa was done by man. We can trace it back, but this was not done by any person on this planet, right? Let that just sink in for a minute. It is a story being told here. Look at this. And we're almost on our 12th image, which is going to be mind-blowing. But look at the story we've told so far. There's Jesus on the cross, of his body, his face, the cross angel holding on, Adam reaching for the fruit. Over here, the deceiver, right? The tree of good and evil. The cherub angel over here, cherub angel. And that's the Old Testament. Look how it's separated over here. And then, the book of life. And how is it that when we look from the side, it looks like his mouth is open? I can't even explain that. But it's like he's saying, I'm speaking to you. Now, and look at this right here. All three together. Snake, Antichrist, and the beast. In the exact order as it says in the Bible. Serpent, Antichrist, and then the beast. I don't see I looked on this beast to see if I see a 666 on here somewhere, but I didn't. But no doubt this is it right here. And somehow it'll play a part in the future. And now, as we get ready to reveal the 12th image we've been waiting for, the cross is on top of the three, showing Jesus' triumph over the serpent, the Antichrist, Satan, the Antichrist, and the beast, right on top. Take a look at that. Look at that, right on top. Now, the last image that I'm going to show you, I'm just going to show you. Let's just go with it. This is what we call the face of God. Now, I don't know if it's the face of God, but I have reasons, and I'll explain them to you, because nobody has seen the face of God and lived. Like Moses, it stated that he saw the backside of God in the Bible. But I don't have such arrogance to believe. But I'm saying this based on the way the setup is, and let me explain very carefully. This particular image here, once I show it to you in contents, it is a slight possibility that this could be or not be, but it's a slight possibility that it could be. Let me explain. First, let's take a look at the face itself. First, let's see, does it pass intelligence? This is the most detailed face I've ever seen on here. I can even make it bigger and you can see it even better. Look at that. I put the 2 white dots for the eyes, but look at that. Look at the nose, the lips under there, the face. I mean, if you ever seen such a detailed face in your life, I mean, it is carved out intentionally. And this face has emotion on it. Look at that. Just take a minute and look at that for a minute. Okay, last 2 seconds. Can you find this face on here? Alright, and I will explain while I say this is face of God. And I'm saying that with respect, of course. Alright, if you have not found it, I'm going to take that away. And once again, let me light it up. You see the lights blinking? Alright, it's there, right there. So let's go thermal and see. Right there. You see that? Alright, let me make it big and thermal. Some people see better this way. Some people see better the other way. See the 2 eyes, nose. Right. Alright, so let's take it off thermal. I think we can see better in this case without it. Look at that. 2 eyes, nose, even have a lip and a mouth. Has a chin. Let's take that in for a moment. Look at that. Even when you make it big, it even shows it even more. Look at that. 2 eyes, nose, mouth. That is... Now let me tell you why I said what I said. Not out of arrogance, but somebody wanted us to see this, right? We have to come to that conclusion. I mean, why else is it here? And it's drawn out in such detail. I mean, this is not even from our planet. I mean, nobody that could do this in a shroud. I mean, it's miraculous. So look at this. I call it the face of God because it's looking directly at his son, the emotions, right? Look at that face. This is the way a father will look at his son, right? If that's your son up there, mother or father, look at that compassion, the love in that face. I can feel it. I'm looking at it from here. Here's something else that's in here. This is, you see Jesus' hand here? Make it bigger. You see Jesus' hand here? There's like another hand here grabbing that hand. And if you ever watch the movie The Shack, and there's a scene in there where Octavius Spencer, she's the black lady that's playing God, I call her Papa, in this movie called The Shack. You need to see it. There's a scene in there where actor Sam Worthington, I think it's Worthington, I think, and Sam is questioning God, and Octavia is explaining to Sam that she never left Jesus on the cross. She was always there. And there was that scene where it was so touching that she even shows that where Jesus was nailed through the cross, through his wrist, she had the same pain. She was right there with the Son of God the whole time.
Your back on those you supposedly love.
I'm not who you think I am.
He said it himself. My God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Rick, you misunderstand the mystery. Don't ever think that what my son chose to do didn't cost us both dearly. Love always leaves a mark. We were there together. I never left him. I never left you. I never left Miss.
This side right here, God has a cross right there, as if, you know, like if you're proud of your son and you bring his trophies home with you, the cross is right there on the side of God, on the face, right? Look at that right here. I'll show you if you can see it better this way. Right here, the cross, the face, you see the hand, the 2 eyes, the nose, the mouth, looking directly at his son. This is a picture for us on this planet to realize that he's real. We don't have any evidence to prove otherwise that somebody went in and drew this out. My best guess is that if this is Christ, that on the 3rd day when he risen, the light, the power of heaven, like all the power in the universe, when that hit, that he left us a will. You know how you leave your children a will? You want to make sure that they're alive, that not that they're alive, you want to make sure that they understand something. You leave a will and testament. This one, you know, the Old Testament, and this is the New Testament, making sure that you can see it and understand it and present it to the world as it is. And the only thing I added to it is the light, the white dots for the eyes. Everything else you see is original. Over here, Old Testament, New Testament. And like I say, this particular painting that's created for us, it's like that will and testament that God leaves behind for his children to say, look at this. I want you to see this. It's not smudges of shadow. It's real images. And we can choose not to see it, or we can choose to see it. But I believe that when he left, like I told you, God is a forward moving being. Thanks to everyone in no way worship these images. God is a spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. John chapter 4, verse 24. Special thanks to Jesus Christ, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. As we end this presentation, the question remains, why did he leave this painting for us?
It's really very simple. Love.
All right, God.